all, it's SJ, welcome back to the channel. One thing that I've quickly realized, and yes, welcome to another episode of SJ Plays, this is episode 4? 5? You start putting these in a playlist, because I honestly don't know what episode I'm on, but sure, let's go with 5. So, one thing that I want to get on here and talk about tonight in this form of podcast type videos, well, first of all, I got some sports news I want to get to, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, first of all, and I'm sure this is true for all of you as creators, I'm assuming y'all get different views on different platforms. Because for me it goes like this. Facebook, which is the one I'm getting paid for, I get a decent amount of views on there, which is great. On Instagram, it's around 2K, 1K per post, something like that, so solid. And on YouTube, it definitely isn't what it used to. Like full videos, I'm struggling to push 10 in I can get 10 views, it just takes me a while. And what's really unfortunate about that, and honestly, it's kind of funny at this point because I have no idea why this is. How come when I have 11,000 subscribers, you can fact check this, I have 11,000 subscribers, but I only get 10 views on my long form videos, and that's being generous. I don't get that at all, because in theory, when your subscriber count goes up, shouldn't your long form views go up as well? Because if I'm being honest, I got more long form video views when I had 1,100 subscribers than I did 11,000. And also the repost game that I played for a while, it's no longer working, which is really interesting to me. It still works on Facebook though. It still is good for advertising, especially when you don't want to have to pay social media platforms to advertise for you. You can just go and repost an old video on Instagram. You can use what's called a trial reel, and you can repost whatever video you want to. Strategy used to work on YouTube, doesn't work anymore. YouTube only, at least for me anyway, pushes out new content, so I've been having to kind of dial in the YouTube grind a little bit, even though it doesn't seem to help when it comes to specifically my long form content. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I am on my Mario world. I'm mapping out World 6 of the Super Mario Bros. DS theme. You're probably wondering too, that's gotta be the most interesting niche I've ever heard in my life, and you are definitely correct. So how I stumbled upon doing this, let's take a backstory here. How I got connected with gaming as a whole, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So how I got connected with this series. So I did a series in 2025. I made the Minecraft theme in Minecraft, add no blocks. I figured that'd be a fun twist. It's different from the videos I usually make. So people love that. So what did I do? I did the Wii Sports one. That took the 6-parter. And after that, I started doing the Super Mario Bros. Wii theme. Y'all love that. So then I went to the Wii U theme. Y'all love that. So then I went to the DS theme. And about halfway through, it hit around November, so I started to start doing Christmas songs. That's where the Snow World started coming in. And that was a game changer that brought me probably 4,000 subscribers, something like that. Something honestly crazy. Because I never would have thought it would have been the case. Because I was at around 6,000 during November, beginning of November. When December rolled around, I had gotten to 9,000. I was almost at 10K. I reached 10K beginning of 26. And now I can barely get 10 subscribers in 2 weeks. My fall off has been somewhat generational. Don't know why, but that's the way the mortar fires, I guess. Random Clash of Clans reference from me. While we're here, though, might as well show you guys. Here is this it? This is the DS, yep. So here is the Super Mario Bros. DS theme in Minecraft. go through worlds 1 through 5, because that's what I have so far. For whatever reason, every single world 2, I feel like music-wise, it's very similar. Worlds 1, 3, and 5, probably my favorites in this one so far. I love the syncopated bell at the end. If you don't know what syncopated means, that's just a fancy term for off the beat. Listen again. Everything's on. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hey, whoa. Here that B flat. That's slightly off the beat. That's what syncopated means. Here's world 4. And here is world 5. Hang on, let's see if we can try and make it. I don't think I have the arm for this. Hey! That was close. That was really close. I'll take it. That's my catchphrase. Here is world 5. And we have world 6 in the process of being built. The repeaters are laid down, and then I'll actually go through all these in actual videos that nobody will watch. Here's what we got so far. That's it. But yeah, that's basically the Mario theme. The Mario DS theme. 5 worlds in it so far. I know I've shown you guys the bulk of this world a couple months back. This is definitely a fun one to do. Oh, one thing that I wanted to get into a little bit, because you guys seemed to love this. You guys loved the chords in, what song was it? Y'all loved the chords in So Easy by Olivia Dean. And I had structured those chords with a purpose. We'll get to sports in a minute, I promise. I structured these chords in a very specific way. If you listen to the chord structures of it, so the first 3 chords, it is going to be an F minor 9 to a B flat 13 to a E flat major 7. And the reason why those chords sound so good together, let's go and let's break this down a little bit. So, have you guys heard the word dissonance before? What dissonance is essentially 2 notes rubbing really close together. So a form of dissonance would sound like this. You can hear those notes rubbing together. Sounds pretty bad, right? An F sharp and a G. Probably think, okay, that sounds absolutely awful. You're right, it does. But what that F sharp and G can give us, if it's used in the proper context, let's do this. Let's go and let's build us out a chord, so we can do this in context here, so you can listen to what it sounds like. So, sounds bad right now. Sounds really bad right now. But let's make this it still sounds terrible, right? I sound so bad. F sharp and a G sounds terrible. Now you're probably thinking it doesn't sound that bad, because we put so many other notes in there. We turned this from an awful sounding F sharp and G right here to now we have a really pretty sounding G major 9 chord. How did we do that, you ask? Alright, let's go and let's listen to each one of these in particular. So we have the root note here, that is the G. So let's build up. G. So if we go to a major scale, that was terrible. That is the G major scale. So let's play this out. Root, 2, 3. So this will be our major third. Now let's build a triad. 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. Major fourth, perfect fifth. Now we have our triad. Alright. Now, let's build it up. Let's see what else we can add. Let's add the 7. 1, 2, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, dominant 7, major 7. Also, this G and this F sharp here, they don't sound that bad because they are far away from each other. But if I add the G on the top, the dissonance from this note here, it goes away. You probably think, ew, that sounds bad, the notes are rubbing up together. It's very dissonant. But you play them in context with a chord, it works. It sounds really pretty. You get a jazzy feel from it, because in jazz, all this stuff was used. So, let's keep this going. Let's add the 9. Which one 9 is? Root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be the octave. Keep walking it up. 9. Since we are 9 steps in the scale apart from this root note down here. So now we have a G major 9 chord. Okay, so now that we have that in mind, now let's explore this dissonance from these chords here. So we had an F chord. We had an F minor 9 chord. Okay, so let's break this down here. So we know the roots in this chord. F, A flat, which is the minor. So let's go ahead and put that in minor third. Let's go ahead and add a C. That's our fifth. Let's add this. F minor 7. That is our F minor 9 chord. Okay. So let's leave this note here. Let's leave this alone. This high G here. So here's what I did. So we have the F minor 9 chord here. Let's do what's called voice leading, which is we keep this top note here. We're going to leave this G here. So now let's go to the B flat chord. That sounds bad. So now, hang on, let me just hang on a minute here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, no. There was one note that's a little off. Let's add one more. So now this chord, you're probably thinking, whoa, this sounds really dissonant, which it does. That was the B flat 13 chord. So now let's keep this high G here, and let's go to the E chord. Keep this high G. Let's keep this in mind. We already have this G here, so we don't need it again. So let's work up. The fifth will be a B flat. Go with a D. E flat major 7. That would be an E flat major 9 if we wanted to do that. That's just basically explaining how voice leading works and how I was able to get those really cool sounding chords. And also you want to try and move the least amount as possible. So if you're able to get a cool extension like that, you can. So that's what I was able to do. You want to move less. The less notes you move, the cooler sounds you can create. Because if you keep jumping from 135, 135, 135, it's going to get old. So try and keep what you can, like that G went from the 9 in the F scale to the 13 in the B flat to your major third in the E flat. So you put all that music theory knowledge together, and this is what you come up with. Hear how the G is the top note? Alright, so I promised y'all I would get to sports. So let's dive into this for a minute here. I'm actually going to... Jeez. I'm actually going to get onto this for a little bit. Yeah. Let's go ahead and hop on this world. And let's talk about what happened last night on the... This is the 20th. Hawks-Knicks in a playoff series. Wait, I'm going to back up. I know what I'm doing. Minecraft. Alright, so. Hawks faced the Knicks last night in the Garden. We had just lost game 1. It was a pretty competitive game 1. I've been a little worried about the series just because Atlanta's center, Onyeka Okongwu, he's a good center, don't get me wrong, but he is 6'9". Not saying anything is wrong with being 6'9". I'm just saying. When you're going up against the Knicks, who have a lot of size in their front court, Karl Anthony Towns 7 foot, Mitchell Robinson is 7'4", or something along those lines. If you have that, man, I've been grinding in this world. I actually haven't, but yeah. So when you have that size, one thing that you have to keep in mind is offensive rebounding. Offensive rebounding and points in the paint. If you aren't able to contend with that, then you're going to have a lot of problems. And we had a lot of problems in the form of offensive rebounding. Now, granted, I didn't watch the majority of Game 2. So I don't know how much action Tony Bradley, our center that we just acquired, I don't know how much action he got. So I can't really say. But we did better with our rebounding. And also, we won the game. We stole Game 2 in New York, which was what we needed to do in order to keep the series competitive. We took out the Knicks in Game 2, 107-106. And by the way, trading for CJ McCollum, I was not expecting that to work out as well as it has, because CJ has reminded me of, in the 2021 playoffs, we had a player whose name was Lou Williams. He would come off the bench. He was just what we like to call a certified bucket. Lou Williams. See, I got it mixed up even. CJ McCollum is continuing being that scorer. But what's interesting, he's a shooting guard. We have him at a point guard position. What's interesting about the Hawks in general, we have 3 guards that we play. We are a 3-guard team, which that is rare. Now, granted, the way the league is shifting, small ball is becoming a thing, so we are able to use that to our advantage. But I'm still worried about our length in the front court, especially at the center position. because Onyeka's 6'9", Muhammad Gay, who's a backup center, I think he's like 6'10". I don't know exactly how tall he is, but I'm not too confident there. By having Tony Bradley as a backup, he was from the Pacers last year, and also he played against these Knicks before, so he knows how to defend Karl Anthony Towns. Now, the great ones he can't stop, but us putting a body on him, putting someone that can bang with him, poor choice of words, is going to be really effective, and that's going to help us a lot. But yeah, Game 3 in Atlanta on on Thursday. But yeah, as you can tell, my voice is tired. I don't know why, but it is. You know, your voice just gets like that sometimes. But yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I can really do. Not really. I'm just digging out this world, just trying to get a spot for a future house I will be building. But until then, I guess I'll just sign off here. Thank you for the continued support as per usual. Hopefully y'all watch my long form videos, because let's be real, no one does. I'm SJ for SJ Plays. Signing off. See y'all.